What's up, y'all? It's your girl Jay Rene with Prison Ride Radio. I hope that you're doing well. This evening, we got the brother Jamar Russell on the phone. He's going to talk to us about his prison advocacy work and also about his books and his craft and stuff like that. So we're going to holler at him. Hey, bro, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well as well, one day at a time. Thank you for asking. I appreciate you taking this time to come holler at us.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity.
For sure. So let's jump right into it. Tell the people a little bit about yourself and where you from.
Well, as you said, Jamar Russell. I go by J.S. Russell. I grew up in the PG County area, born in D.C., moved around in that area a little bit. It's crazy, but, life as a young black male kind of ended up being the stereotype story, end up being in prison. Single parent household, I did well in school, had some opportunities to do right. It's just looking back on it, I say the trauma of learning about being that I was in poverty basically was a trigger. And not poverty where I was all the way, like bad starving, just like poor, most of our stories. So that was kind of the trigger that got me out there hustling.
I got you. So how long have you been behind the G-Wall?
Right now, it's 11 years and some months, I'm actually serving a life all suspended for 49-year sentence. It's 49 because I got a year taken off for modification for first-degree murder. And, it's kind of crazy because I never considered myself a violent person, but you know how the streets is. You end up sometimes having to do things.
Yeah. That's a lot of time for someone to stand up on, You've done 11 so far. What keeps you motivated through it, to do it day for day and keep your head?
Well, the thing is that I'm not accepting this time. I'm trying to fight to get back, to my family. I have a daughter. She just recently turned 13. And then I feel like I have so much more to offer this world. Like, sitting here during this time and reflecting and seeing where I actually went wrong, I was like, man, maybe if I had done things differently or had somebody invest the time or such, that, I could have been in another route, really doing well. And, it's not over for me. I've read so many books about different guys that have overcome from prison. I mean, Nelson Mandela, Malcolm X, some of the people that are inspiration. So why not myself? And being that I'm into the word as well, like, you have guys that's in the Bible that murdered and done all types of crazy stuff, and they came from out of prison and done well. So, like I said, I just rely on God and keep pushing.
Right, for sure. Now, you talked about, different books and stuff, so let's talk about your books. You definitely got some books out there, and you're also a poet. So tell me, what got you into writing, and tell us about your books.
Definitely. Well, starting out writing, I always did the poetry. I mean, I think, what really started me was writing rhymes. My older cousin Rick up in Jersey, when I used to spend my summers up there, but things are different when you don't have a beat. And so that kind of became my way of expressing myself. And so I've always been writing poetry from I don't know how long. And I lost everything coming in here. It was a large collection that I wanted to have published. So when being in here and realizing that I didn't have a trade, I didn't have a degree, it was like, what was I going to do once I made my mind up not to go back to crime? It was like, it was nothing else but right. So I started to look into that direction. The beautiful thing is that, you start doing things will start opening up for you. So once I got in the state system, a couple things that really made me do it. I read this book by Tucker Max called Asshole Finish First. And this dude was just talking about wild stuff, and he ended up getting a couple book deals and a movie deal. So I'm like, man, I got a bunch of wild stories, but I wasn't going to try to promote that type of lifestyle. I said, let me do something a little bit more conscious so that I ain't leading the youngins in the wrong direction, and so I did the poetry thing. The brother Sean Gardner, that I also do the behind the wall mentors with, had a self-publishing class, and I looked into a lot. And then as far as my children's book, that was because I wanted to do something for my daughter, and one of the ladies that I seen that did the psychology in the county jail had suggested, since I was a writer, that I use that to connect to her.
Right.
So that's been my way to connect with my daughter.
That's awesome. What's the name of the children's book?
Okay, let me break it all down. The first one was Malia's Daddy and the Magical Mashed Potatoes and Gravy.
Okay.
The second one, which she has a co-author credit, is because she actually picked the characters as the Princess, the Dragon, and the Wizard and the Golden Pumpkin.
Okay.
Now, those are my children's books. Would you like to know the poetry books?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. The first one is Writing Freedom from Within the Pen. Crystal Publications helped me with that and the children's book. Then a good friend of mine, Katina Cat Coles, helped me with Love Locked In and Writing Freedom in the Pen Volume 2. Then Crystal helped me out with Poems from a Prison Church. And a friend of mine said help me out, Tisha J. Miles, with J.S. Russell, the Prison Poet, Live from the Pen. And the last book that I got done through Uncaged Minds with the help of that was Writing Freedom Volume 3. So that's everything that I have. Available on Amazon under Jamar Russell or J.S. Russell.
Okay. We had to make sure we put that down so people can check them out. So I know you brought up Behind the Wall Mentors. The listeners have heard about that before through Brother Sean Gardner, but I would like to get your perspective on it. Of course, I think it's super dope, you know what I mean, to have something like that in place. So tell us, what made you decide to get involved in it and what it means to you.
Well, when seeing what Sean was doing, actually having a program with the self-publishing thing, I seen he was a positive brother, so on the compound, that's what I generally like to link with to see how I can, gain the insight as to what to do and also the resources. And he's definitely been generous as far as sharing resources. So when he let me know what he was trying to do, I was like that, because I had been involved with programs already here trying to help guys. I was a student aide at the time, and also facilitating the youth challenge. So my thing is always looking at the young man that I was and what could have made things differently for me. And then once being in the school building as an aide, seeing the age range from like maybe 18 to maybe 50 of guys that didn't have their GED, I said this got to change, because how else are people going to be equipped to do what's necessarily in life legit? So I was like, very passionate about that.
All right. Well, we definitely appreciate you participating in that. And you're right, it's important. I think a lot of people forget about that part of it. So the fact that you're involved in that speaks volumes on your character. So we definitely appreciate it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nah, go ahead.
I wanted to ask you real quick.
What's up?
Along with that, like my purpose, right, is an actual poem. If you don't mind, I'll say it for you.
Man, please do. I'm with it. Go ahead.
Okay. Doing entirely to the Most High. My desire strong, keeping me going, pursuing the throne that I'm focused on, simply because of what my mind told me I can hold. And it's mine to own if I just get it right and keep from wrong. All it be is to succeed. For me, is what I chose to make important to me. Taken from my experience and escapades. Not faulting being a spade for cutting hearts. It's my time in the dark that makes me appreciate the light. And through and through, I fight. It increases my might. My advances of light. My feelings are right. I thought. But it's that thought brought from that burn in my gut to erupt ideas of enterprise as well as rhymes to put me in the place that I visualize on top of a vast empire with the sole purpose to inspire. To God be the glory.
I love it. Thanks for sharing that with us. I think that leads me right into my next question. What does the future look like for you? What you trying to do? What mark you leaving out here?
right now I'm still working with Brother Sean Gardner to do more work with the Behind the Wall mentors to try to do as much as I can to help the youth, as well as bring awareness to the issues with guys that's incarcerated. I'm also working with the brother ACMN of First Reform Self. He has a publication that he deals with getting it out to the masses to shed light on incarcerated people. And that's pretty much the push, is to get some attention, because right now where I'm at, I'm on a tier, it's an honor tier in this prison where there's a dog program, and I swear these dogs get better treatment than we do. And just seeing how the disparities are with black people in this country, period, it's like something has to change. We're a minority in the country, but a majority in the prison system.
Right.
And there's so much that I think that people are just unaware of. Like, I know from my experience in here that a lot of people aren't really knowledgeable about the political system. They're not knowledgeable about the political system, then I know that their peoples generally aren't. Because just having that power, you're talking about around 2.4 million affected by the prison system.
Right.
Okay, now let's talk about all the families that's connected to that. So if there was actually people to hold people accountable, you know what I'm saying, and them be able to pass legislation, then that can change. Then there's also the economic aspect of it. Like, there's so much money being funneled into this prison system because they don't pay guys enough. I have a state job, which I'm fortunate that I might make about $140 a month, but the average person that works on the compound may be making like $20.
Right.
The prices aren't cheap in here. If not, if anything, they might be more expensive. So what does their leader got to do if he can't really make money?
Right.
Break the law.
Right.
So what you're doing is you creating a person to either become worse in here than better. Then there's no services. There's nothing for us. So I'm like, I have to make sure that I'm doing something so that I can speak to the people so that they know, like, look, we need some help in here. You have good people, because there's a lot of talent in here as well. And people should be invested in, especially our community. Black people have given so much to this country. On top of that, like, even with hip-hop, we have the #1 genre. You know, we have so much influence and impact around the world. However, it just hasn't seemed that people know how to organize all of this power and influence that we have to actually help ourselves out. And see, with the brother AC Amin, where I agree with him, he has First Reform. So when a lot of people talking about reparations, I say we got to repay ourselves. The tragic thing about it is, it seems like whenever there's black people being prosperous, you have white folks come through and destroy that. They're the only ones that go out their neighborhoods and go out to go do some shit to some other people. That's terrorism in itself. So I mean, it's crazy, because as I learn more, that's how much more painful it is. So I gotta have a balance with the stuff that I learn with trying to be uplifting and positive, because this ain't necessarily the best environment to stay uplifted.
Right.
So I just wanted to shed light to all of that and try to get all those involved. It's extremely difficult trying to do the things that I'm doing in here. You know, when I'm a minority, not even just as far as being black, but I'm talking about as far as conscious brothers that's putting in work. I pretty much know all the guys that's on this compound. This compound maybe like 1,500 or plus people. I'm saying, I can say it's a handful of us that's really doing some things. You know what I'm saying? Guys that's in the Behind the Wall mentors, or some other guys doing their own thing.
Right.
So that's sad if this is a microcosm of society. However, I know that there's more people out there, and definitely the sisters, women like yourself, Amani Sarawi from the Right to Vote report, who's published me, Tia Hamilton with State versus Us, my family, which consists of a lot of women. The list just goes on and on as far as the sisters is really doing things. So I want to get with them strong women and try to make some change. Those are the ones that seem like they're really being productive, and then help uplift the brothers so they know what's what.
Right.
So it's a huge task, you know. But I definitely salute everybody that's trying to do anything to help out, man.
But yeah, I'm with you on that, bro. Everything that you saying. Shout out to my big sis Tia. I heard you say her name. She definitely out here doing the thing for the people and for our babies. So I got one more thing for you. Well, maybe two more things. First, I'd like to ask you to, drop some gems on, the young man or the young woman out here that's leading in the wrong direction, leading directly to the penitentiary. Drop some gems on them.
Well, that's what I'm gonna say. They definitely got a place for you. Whether you dead or in jail, they'll make money up all for you. You know what I'm saying? The coroner's office, the morgue, this prison system, this is new form of slavery. That's what you want to do, because at the end of the day, like, shoot, I thought I was getting a little bit of money. Man, it wasn't enough to take care of my lawyer. It wasn't enough to take care of that time that I had to fight my charge in the county jail. It wasn't enough to contribute to my family or take care of my daughter. Now I'm in here stuck, broke. You know what I'm saying? Feeling stupid with people that's not nearly as intelligent as creative as me, making way more money than me and off of me. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever wanted to feel like a whore, bring yourself to prison. They have you stripped, coughing, and all that stuff for nothing. So, I tell a person, man, and this is one of the things that I tell everybody, they need to read, man. They say you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the book. Why it gotta be like that? I'm trying to work on things with financial literacy because we need that. People rather have the money on their back than in their pocket, or some place that's really gonna make some money for them. Collecting interest. That has to change. Yeah. Then on top of that, we gotta become educated about ourselves, man. Health-wise, psychologically, all of that. Because these people, man, they don't care how they take you out. We've been a commodity since they brought us over here. So definitely say invest in yourself, love yourself. Know what's what. Don't stop fighting though, and definitely, whatever God you believe in, pray to that higher power so that you know that you're strengthened, because we all made in His image. We made in His image, then we got some of that power. So that's what I say, man. Just educate yourself and invest in yourself. That'll be the best thing.
Yeah, you dropped the whole necklace and a bracelet on that one. Bro, I appreciate that for sure. For real though, they definitely need to hear that and know that in a real way. You know what I mean? No sugarcoating. So I appreciate how you put that down. So tell the people how to get in contact with you. Yeah, from love. Right. It does have to come from a place of love. You said that for sure. Tell the people how to get in contact with you.
Well, right now, I got the IG, right, but I don't have nobody managing it. So if you want to check out anything that's going on with me, it's Jay Russell, Writing Freedom. However, to get in contact, you write me, Jamar Russell, 280035 is the SID number behind my name. 18701 Roxbury Road, Hagerstown, Maryland, 21746. That'll be the best route. Everything else, it's kind of difficult setting up different ways of getting things in here. Right. I'm actually on Pentagon, so if you look up Jamar Russell, you might be able to find me. So.
And you said it's called Pen-A-Con?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, hopefully they'll be able to find you, bro. Again, I definitely appreciate you and the time that you took. I appreciate this interview. I think you dropped a lot of gems that the people need to hear.
I appreciate you for the opportunity and sharing your platform. I definitely salute you. Keep doing what you're doing, man, so we can make this change.
For sure, I am.